Thank you, Madam Chair. Perhaps this is the appropriate time to tell you why I'm not supporting this budget. We did a lot of work in the subcommittee, and I'm very grateful to your leadership and that of Representative Beyer and Representative Huffman, and working the budget and doing what we felt was best given the year and the tough constraints that we have. But we've been overruled, but I still have a vote. Madam Chair, this Sunday Bend Bulletin, it's a wonderful paper. That's sort of the regional paper in Central Oregon. But the headline on Sunday's Bend Bulletin says, "A systemic problem, audits of ODOT." The people, from what I can tell, tend to agree with me that we've lost confidence that our money is being spent well. So this caused me to do an audit, but of course mine was pretty precursor, and it was more just about where else are we spending to tell people to do what they already know to do. I mean, as you know, Madam Chair, when you advertise to people that if they drive their car less, they'll save money, is silly. And all of us recommended that it be cut, but the co-chairs have decided otherwise. But even ODOT admits they really have no data to show that this program of advertising to folks to drive their car less and save money has been effective with reducing miles. I mean, they say it has, but they admit that they haven't isolated factors like the price of gasoline. But if you go, Madam Chair, I actually have this sheet printing out miles based upon the gas tax. And then if you can find out what the price of gas was that year. And surprisingly, it correlates. And you know, Oregonians drive less when the price of gas goes up, not when they see a billboard. But we're prepared today to fund it anyway, and to not send that money in the full amount that we wanted to drive the folks that actually have less capacity, like the disabled and the seniors. So, in 2010, here, Madam Chair, what else ODOT has spent money on? Do you know that in 2010, Madam Chair, that ODOT spent $757,537 in advertising, $50,000 in movie theater ads, just in 1 year? So, Madam Chair, when we tell folks we're sorry, get to the hospital yourself. Don't worry. When they're in a movie theater, they get to watch an ODOT ad before the show begins. The employee recruiting wellness, $802,216. Prizes and awards, $70,458. Professional development and dues, $2,113,021. Subscriptions, $355,467. Out-of-state travel, $153,138. In-state travel, $3,295,928, for a total of $7,547,765. That's what ODOT spent in 2010, Madam Chair. They got enough money for themselves to travel. We're spending a lot of money. And who else but us is supposed to make those priority decisions? You can teach a pretty young child to draw straight lines. So when we come up and we say, you know what, we're going to cut budget 6%, it doesn't take a lot of training to draw a straight line in a budget, but it takes discernment and work to go in and actually look at programs piece by piece. And I think that's what we were sent here to do, to make decisions. to decide what we will spend money on and what we won't, because we don't have enough money. So I'm a no on the ODOT budget, because they have not managed their money like the people in Crook County have had to manage their money, like the people in Lake County, in Klamath County, and maybe even the people in Multnomah County. We all manage our budget. ODOT continues to conduct themselves in a way that is leading to headlines and audits where people are bewildered. And now we're even putting in a budget note, Madam Chair, where we're going to tell ODOT that be sure and manage and look after this Columbia River crossing. There comes a time that when you can't trust the messenger, you can't trust the message. So, Madam Chair, my frustration grows after 4 months here that we are going to continue to say to people who have not the capacity to hire lobbyists, not the capacity to advocate perhaps for themselves, that they have to bear the brunt of this budget problem. And that's why I'm a no vote, because ODOT can do better. They don't need to spend this amount of money in 2010 when we have people going without, cutting meals to pay for fuel. This is not the time for status quo, Madam Chair. This is not the time for business as usual. So we have tried our best in this subcommittee to change the way we do things. But the status quo reared its head. Maybe we clipped its wings a bit. Maybe half a loaf or a third of a loaf. And maybe that's a start. But I, for one, in the last remaining seconds of what audience I can hold, at least have to go down on record, Madam Chair. I am not supportive of the way that ODOT has spent its money, and therefore I will not vote for this budget, so that the good people in Portland, and maybe even in Medford now, can know that if they drive their car, that it's going to cost them money. Or they can sit in a movie theater and hear what great things ODOT does for us. I know a lot of good people work at ODOT, and I'm not criticizing their efforts at this time, because we ourselves are the ones to blame. So thank you, Madam Chair, for letting me have a few moments to express my opinion on this budget. And I want to say, having served with you especially, it has been an absolute and sincere pleasure, and I am thankful that you got to be my chair, because I've learned a lot, and I know as we shut this committee down, I will have considered it to be a privilege to get to serve with you this session, and I thank all you for the efforts that and the access you gave me as a freshman to bend your ear and give my views, and I appreciate you listening and always encouraging me to speak up.
Thank you very much, Representative McLane.